Greetings. My name is Samoya Lamb, and this is my technology portfolio for Seed 6270 at the University of West Georgia. In this presentation, I'll be sharing examples of how I've intentionally integrated technology in my high school biology classroom to support student learning and engagement. Digital citizenship expectations. Before we really started using technology regularly, I made sure my students understood what responsible digital behavior looks like in our classroom. Since this is a science class, accuracy and ethical use of information are very important. I stress verifying information before sharing because there is so much misinformation online, and science depends on evidence. I also emphasize respecting digital work and avoiding plagiarism so students understand the importance of original thinking. Setting expectations for respectful online communication help maintain a positive classroom environment, especially when students are collaborating. And finally, we talk about protecting privacy and security so students understand how to safely use technology. Overall, these expectations help set the tone for responsible technology use throughout the semester. In the following slides, I will discuss 5 technology integration examples that I have used in my classroom. Kahoot. This example comes from a lesson on the cell membrane and cellular transport. After teaching the content, I used Kahoot as a quick formative assessment to see what students understood before moving on. On this slide, you can see examples of the questions and student response data. I chose Kahoot because it gives immediate feedback and keeps students engaged while also giving me a clear picture of their understanding. My main goal was to identify misconceptions and decide if reteaching was needed. This worked really well because I could quickly see which concepts students struggle with and adjust instruction before the next lesson. Blooket. This example focuses on reinforcing biology vocabulary. After students were introduced to key terms, I used Blooket as a way for them to practice and review definitions in an engaging way. The artifact shown is part of a vocabulary question set students use. I choose Blooket because it encourages repetition, which is especially helpful for mastering scientific terms. My objective was to help students feel more confident using academic vocabulary while keeping them engaged. This worked as intended because students were more willing to participate, and I noticed improvement in how they use vocabulary during discussions and assignments. Quizzes. This example took place during our genetics unit, specifically while covering Mendelian and non-Mendelian inheritance. I used quizzes as a formative assessment before the unit test. This slide shows sample questions and the data report. I chose quizzes because it allows students to work at their own pace and provides immediate feedback while also giving me detailed data. My goal was to identify misconceptions and allow students to self-check their understanding. This worked well because the data helped guide review sessions and the students were better prepared for the summative assessment. Canva. This example comes from a unit on biogeochemical cycles. Students use Canva to create digital visuals that explain their assigned cycle. The artifact on the slide shows a student-created product. I chose Canva because it allows students to organize information visually and communicate complex biological processes more clearly. My goal was for students to demonstrate understanding through explanation, not just memorization. This worked really well because students were able to clearly explain their processes in their own words, and the visual format helped reinforce connections between concepts. Bioman Interactive. This final example involved using Bioman Interactive doing lessons on biological processes that are difficult to observe directly, such as genetics or evolution. The artifact shown includes a simulation students interacted with during class. I chose this tool because it allows students to manipulate variables and see outcomes in real time. My objective was to support inquiry-based learning and help students better visualize abstract concepts. This worked as intended because students were more engaged and demonstrated stronger understanding during class discussions and follow-up activities. To wrap up, these examples show how I've used technology intentionally to support student learning rather than just using it for the sake of using it. Each tool served a specific purpose, whether that was checking understanding, reinforcing vocabulary, promoting collaboration, or helping students visualize complex biological processes. Overall, technology helped increase engagement, provide meaningful feedback, and support different learning styles in my classroom. Moving forward, I plan to continue refining how I use tools to support student understanding and create more interactive, student centered learning experiences.